أهلا بكم في لقاء عمل جديد في إكسبو. جمعت دبي العالم بشرقه وغربه شماله وجنوبه في إكسبو 2020 دبي، ما يؤكد الوزن الدولي الكبير لهذه المدينة المبهرة. إكسبو 2020 بالإضافة لكونه فرصة سانحة لمناقشة أبرز الفرص أمام الاقتصاد العالمي خلال العقود المقبلة، هو كذلك مختبر كوني لتقديم حلول ترقى بالإنسان، حلول تمنح الحياة الكريمة وتعين المجتمعات على تخطي التحديات نحو آفاق رحبة من التقدم والتطور والازدهار. في لقاء عملنا اليوم سنقف على ما جد به جناح البرازيل من معروضات، سنجول في بلاد السامبا بجمالها تنوعها وتقدمها. أيضا الجميل في هذا الجناح أنه يستحضر حوض الأمازون في صحراء دبي، يتميز كذلك بكونه يقدم تجربة للاستمتاع بالمناظر والأصوات التي تتفرد بها المناطق الواقعة على ضفاف الأنهار في البرازيل. البداية ستكون مع 3 من مهندسين الذين صمموا هذا الجناح. هم هناك مارتن، مارتا وجوزيه قدموا وصمموا هذا الجناح. هم هناك Thank you so much. It's cold.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's good, isn't it?
It's very good. I like it. Yes, it's really fresh.
Welcome to the Brazilian Pavilion.
Thank you. How is everything?
Fine. It's very fine.
It's fine.
You know, it is very stressful to be in your shoes, to be responsible of the architecture of a pavilion at an Expo World Exhibition. How did you live this experience? We'll start with you, Marta.
Well, that is a important thing. That was a public competition in Brazil.
Yeah.
So when you win this competition,
Yeah.
it's like everybody says, "Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Let's do it in that way, and that's going to be beautiful." So
Yeah, José, what was your thinking? How did you thought that your country will be represented in one place with one pavilion? What thoughts went in your head to represent your country?
Yeah, the first thing is that we have in Brazil a tradition of pavilions and showing the country using architecture as the main feature. So our main idea was making a building open without doors, with the water inside, and creating a space with projections that can make people engage in our building, not only looking at the outer form of the shape of the building, but entering the water and maybe have a small feeling of our country.
it's inviting, you know.
It is?
Inviting.
I will tell you something, Martin, and I will be honest. I was stereotyping Brazil. I thought that I will see football in the pavilion, but you brought Amazon, you brought the water, you brought no obstruction. It's really open. What is your message?
I think that actually that has to do with the idea of showing something that is sometimes not really on the focus, or it's not really being considered as much as it should be. That's why it's not probably like a main issue like football could be. Is the pavilion is trying to show and to put some sides and interest in something which is very important, not only for Brazilian sustainability, which is the main
theme
issue
in the
of
district. Yeah,
exactly, but also for the world's sustainability, and that has to do with water, that has to do with the Amazon River, and this possibility of connecting not only Brazil but the whole continent and so on.
And
Marta,
also,
yes, tell me,
it's
please.
a question that involves no frontiers.
No frontier. I can
It's a
see
question
that
for
it's really
everybody.
open. think it's really inviting, no obstruction, and everybody can see the name of Brazil here in front of the pavilion. I feel, first of all, I don't know how, but I think it's the water. It makes me feel very breezy in here, even though it's a hot day. So is it a system that you put to make it, or it's really the water that made it cooler?
The water make it cooler, and also the shade. That's the idea of the pavilion. This first portion of the pavilion, when you arrive, you just have this shade, you know.
Yeah.
That's why it's so inviting, because the water is incredible in terms of happiness and sensation, and that's what we wanted from the pavilion, that the people have a sensation more than anything.
José, what sustainable material did you use in this pavilion to be really dear and close to the theme of the district?
Yeah, regarding the sustainability theme, we follow the instructions from the Expo, using kind of material that is reusable, and also the technique is also very important, because our pavilion, we only use concrete on the foundations, and the whole building we can dismantle it and use in other places, use in other situations. So the whole pavilion we can consider that it will be used in another buildings, in other situations. So the material is steel mainly, and it's completely dismantled.
Martin, how this pavilion reflects Brazil, a big country with a lot of diversity, beauty, the country of samba. How does it represent? Is it represented in this pavilion?
I think that the pavilion itself, it's very closely related to Brazilian architecture in terms of how open it is, how the structure is resolved, and how simple it is, and thus very impressive, I would say. I'm an Argentinian, actually. I've been working with Brazil, and that is something that, as an Argentinian, has always inspired me from Brazilian architecture, and I think that the pavilion itself has something of that, but also because it shows during the night and when the video mapping starts, lots of scenes and atmospheres that brings you somehow from Dubai to Brazil.
Marta, the white is almost everywhere. Is it you meant to put the white in this pavilion?
Yes, we meant because the luminosity of the pavilion. And also, I think it's important, Martin was saying about the Brazilian architecture, there is no limits, it's a soft limits between what's outside and what's inside. It's just a very soft limit. And the water is not constrained inside the pavilion. The water goes and covers all the Brazilian land in Dubai.
Yeah, okay. José, it's a very simple concept. It is a structure that is very simple. It is rectangular, I think, white, and water. It's so simple, but look at the kids. Look how happy they are. I mean, how a simple concept can be very attractive like this.
Yeah, this is also, how to say, tradition in Brazilian architecture. Working, designing simple materials that we can find in every country, every place, to make this open space, and the void is very important here. The void is made for people occupy it, to make it as they want, do as they want. The Brazilian, as I said, we don't have doors, so people can, how to say, think about his own path inside of the building.
Yeah.
And the materials are very simple. The idea is simple.
But you have a big land, by the way. I think for 1,500 square meter.
Yeah.
And it is really all enjoyable. There are expositions. We will see it later with the director of the pavilion to discover it. Let me ask you, when successful pavilion is really noted, the country will take the credit. if it is not, the architect will be blamed. What are the feedbacks until now?
The feedback was very good until now, but I'd like to state that in architecture, it's always a very collective work. So it might be like the way you said, but in any case, architecture is a kind of working where many agents and people are involved, not only architects, but also engineers, curators, and also people working for the public organization that made it possible. So I think that anyways, even though the design might be ours, it's a very collective work.
Any one of you was involved before in another expo or visited another expo?
Not
this is your first
professionally.
experience.
Not professionally, exactly. But I would like to tell you something.
Yeah.
I think it's a pavilion that talks about Brazil, of course, but talks about human being, you know, because you said, look at the children enjoying, because we are what we are, and we enjoy the contact with the water. The water is life.
And Brazil is a very joyful country. They always want to celebrate everything.
Yes, but not just. We needed to do a lot of things in terms of development, in terms of education, and for everybody and everything.
This is really amazing. I would love to go inside. You know who is waiting for me? The Commissioner General, Elias. He said to join him in the restaurant called Nossa. What means Nossa?
Nossa means hour, but also means wow.
Wow! Let's go to wow. Let me go inside. I have to dry my feet. Elias, please stay. How are you?
Fine, very fine,
Thank you
thank you.
for waiting for me here in Nossa. And the three-actor architect, José, Martin, and Marta explained that Nossa is wow. I like that we are in wow. And your pavilion has a secret because it has the wow effect somehow.
Thank you.
Elias, why Brazil wanted to be present in Dubai 2020 with this pavilion? I know you have a tradition in presence in different world exhibition expos, but why with this pavilion in Expo?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me here and for visiting our pavilion. Okay. Well, I could tell you several reasons for us to be here. First is that, as you just said, Brazil is a very traditional participant in expos. We are taking part of Universal Exposition since 1851 in London. And since then, we have taken part of all expos. And in this case in particular, I would like to highlight two main reasons. First, because this is the first expo in this region of the globe. And for us, it's a must to be here with you. Second, because of the relationship that Brazil and UAE have, let's say, developed throughout the years. So for us, it's a great pleasure to be here with you, to taking part of this global event that is a crossing point back to the normality and for the recovery of the economy.
True. It was very tough 18 months for everybody, but look at this, look at Expo, look at this pavilion. It's one of the busiest pavilions at Expo in the sustainability district. Before we finish, can I try this juice?
Please.
I feel that I need water. What is this juice?
It's a cajá. It's a very typical fruit from our country. And you see that it has a particular taste. And it's one of the most, let's say,
it's refreshing.
Appreciated fruit in our country.
I thought it's orange juice.
No, it's not orange.
Cajá?
Cajá.
Cajá.
Yes.
I like it. I like this cajá. Thank you very much. I needed some more refreshing drink. Thank you so much. Elias, as we said, it's very tough. How did you live the challenge of preparing this pavilion at the time and on time, despite all the difficulties.
Yes, frankly speaking, we are working with this pavilion since 2018. But from 2019, and in particular throughout 2020, we had to face a lot of challenge. It was very difficult for us to come here and to supervise the work that we were demanding from our construction company. But since last December, I decided to come here every month. We took all the preventive measures to protect ourselves and our team, but we came here every month, spending 2 to 3 weeks here in this country, supervising the project and making sure that the project was going on as planned. So since December till August this year, we were able to build this beautiful structure. Yeah. And we were lucky because when this project was, let's say, decided in 2018, we had no idea about the COVID-19. And as you see, it's a very open area. It's a beautiful area where we can receive a lot of visitors, hundreds of them every day. We taking, of course, the preventive measures, but making it easier for them to enjoy.
Elias, you think this is the secret? It's the structure that is white and bright and lightened and open, and the water. You think this is the secret?
Well,
because people were confined for a long time.
Yeah.
They were maybe sad because of all what is happening. You think this is the secret, that somehow this is the pavilion that gives them openness?
Yes. The project was inspired in the Amazon basin.
True.
One of the big rivers that we have there, the Rio Negro. This is why you have all things black on the ground. But we decided to bring a kind of oasis, a Brazilian oasis to Dubai. And the kids are enjoying, the
yes.
people are enjoying.
I see that.
And from the sunset, every night, we are showing the beautiful image that we have from our country. The culture, the traditions, the big cities that we have there, the forests that we have, let's say, protected, and making sure that the people can feel Brazil. They can see, they can hear, they can feel the climate, but they also can taste here in the restaurant.
We will taste something, Elias.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, because you talked about that we can see the forest and the Amazon, and there are around 140 screens that we can see through them all the projections of that is Brazil. Are you focusing on tourism specifically?
Well, not specifically, but of course, everything that we do here, we are contributing with the tourism, all right? And this is something that we had realized before coming, that the tourism between Brazil and UAE should be improved.
Yeah.
We are very friendly, and but the fact is that we have rooms to improve the tourism between the two countries.
You had some events that were really major. You brought many big towns from Brazil to have here cooperation and deals and business forums. What is the come out of it?
Well, we had been able to sign several agreements between Brazil and countries that are participating of this expo. This is one thing. The Minister of Tourism, he came here twice already, and he signed agreements that will improve the tourism between the countries of the region and ourselves. This is one. But we had also been able to, let's say, to have an investment forum in our National Day, a big one, where we attracted a lot of investors and Brazilian companies in order to make sure that we could show the opportunities that we have back home. So the expectations are very high. We are, according to the experts, we are able to attract at least $10 billion in terms of investment.
Okay.
And we also have had here partners like São Paulo, Paraná, and other companies who also have, let's say, discussed their own business in terms of attracting investment and improving the exportation for this region.
You really leverage very well from this expo in many sectors, trade and tourism and culture also. What is this music I'm hearing? It's very cheerful. This is what kind of music we've been hearing it?
Well, we are here the popular music. The Brazilian popular music, and also what we call bossa nova, a very traditional style that is the meaning of the Brazilian. Not only the samba, as you see, is a very soft music, and we can relax, we can enjoy, we can eat hearing this music, and you feel. Let's say, like you are, let's say, floating in the air.
And, I feel it, especially that the water is, we are surrounded by water actually. It gives us a breeze and very cool moment here. You said eating, now it's time to eat, I think.
Well, yeah, I would appreciate if we could accompany me in tasting something here.
I would love to.
It's part of our project, you know. We are here to see, to hear, to eat, in terms of having the opportunity to show to the visitor the Brazilian way to do things.
I can see Chef Tommasini, and I think he brought us a feast. It's a lot of food.
I hope so.
This is the hospitality of Brazil. Hi, Chef.
Hello, welcome.
Hi.
This is our welcome snacks.
Yes.
We call this edible charcoal.
Edible charcoal.
Yeah, this is mainly
it looks like charcoal.
Yes, but it's mainly a cassava, a root from South America and Africa that we steamed with activated charcoal.
Okay, that's very good. And please join us, Chef. I would love you to join. This is for me.
Yes.
So what is this?
This is a carajé. It's a very popular dish from Bahia state in Brazil. That we call it the we have this beans cake with the prawns and the palm oil that was introduced by the Africans to Brazil.
I feel it's sweet and sour. Look at, okay, this is cheating. Did you ask for a steak? Yes.
Of course.
Oh my God, that looks really delicious. Chef, please join us. Well, there's a lot to try. Tell me about this first, again.
This is a popular dish in Bahia, state in Brazil. That is a dish that was introduced by the Africans to Brazil.
Okay.
Nigerians, people from Angola, during the slavery time in Brazil. The connection with Middle East with this dish is that the process to make them is the same as the falafel.
Okay.
It's beans, smashed beans, with the onions and the garlic, and after deep fried in oil. So we introduce to our customers here as the Brazilian falafel.
Okay.
And the prawns is sauteed with palm oil, coconut milk. And under that you have a mash that is made with cassava, the same as this one, but also nuts, pine nuts and the cashew nuts.
There's another connection. I'm from Mama Africa. I'm Tunisian, so I'm from Africa as well. And this one is charcoal.
Yes. Normally in Brazil we eat the cassava or steamed or fried, but here we just make a little bit, we play a little bit with the idea, because the menu, we designed our menu here in two ways. First, think about the food before the Portuguese arrived in Brazil, during the colonization, and the modern trends.
Okay.
And after, we want to represent Brazil from the north to the south, east to the west. Not like cassava with charcoal represents Brazil before the Portuguese, when the local Indians was cooking food on fire. They eat a lot of cassava as well. So we try to make this dish to represent Brazil before the Portuguese. And also in the end, our beautiful picanha, that is a steak cut developed by a Brazilian butcher called Bassi in the late 70s, and up to 90s was popular only in Brazil, and now is globally known.
I will dig in and try. And Chef Giuseppe, I feel that the cuisine of Brazil is very rich and diverse, right?
Yes.
From only 3 dishes, I can feel that, because it's a lot. Oh yeah, I can see it's similar to falafel now. I can see that. Yes. Take it with the mash.
like it?
Yes.
Yeah, the Brazilian cuisine represent like a mix of cultures.
Elias, go ahead, please.
The Brazilian cuisine represents a mix of cultures because we have like the local Indians, the Portuguese, the Spanish, the Dutch is in Maranhão, in the north of Brazil, and then after in the 19th century, we have the Italians who came, the Japanese, Koreans, Chinese, the Middle Easters, the Lebanese who came like I think of the first people from the Middle East to move to Brazil. We have a huge colony there.
I love the shrimp.
Thank you.
It's very delicious.
You should try the picanha.
You should try. Elias, please go ahead. I want you to try also.
Okay.
And I will try the charcoal as well. It looks like a real charcoal. Are you sure it's safe to eat it?
It is.
Okay. I will eat it here. Oh!
The charcoal is just a crust. Interesting, huh? In Asia, normally they do this very similar dish, but they steam the cassava with miso and the soya.
Let me tell you, Chef, it's something that I never ate before. This is something new. It looks dry, but it is not. It's very soft.
Yeah.
It's something new for me. This is the kaja.
Kaja.
First time also I try it because we don't have it in this region. I think it's something that is specific to the region where you are and to Brazil. This one is new also.
Yeah, kaja is very specific fruit because when the fruit is ripe, you cannot keep the fruit for so many days. To get it here, only pulp. You can't get the fruit here. It's only the frozen pulp, yeah. Even in Brazil, I'm from São Paulo. I never saw a kaja fruit in front of me in Brazil.
Well, it goes...
Because when they ripe, they spoil very fast. And when they pick the fruit from the tree,
and they freeze
they already smash and freeze. Even in São Paulo, you ask people from São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, have you ever saw a kaja in your life? No.
No, okay. It's very delicious and very refreshing. Very good. Chef, excellent.
Thank you so much.
Really, thank you so much for everything. I want to finish with you, Elias, and then I will leave you in peace to eat your steak.
Okay.
What is the message of Brazil to the whole world through this pavilion?
Well, first, that Brazil is a modern, an open, a productive country, environmentally aware and sustainable. Second, that for us, sustainable development means that we have to take care of the nature, take care of the people, but with the eye in the future. Yeah. So these are the three pillars that make the sustainable development real sustainable.
Amazing message, Elias. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chef, for this feast. It's very delicious. Elias, I will keep you with your steak. Please finish. And I have to go and meet Raphael for a tour. He will give me a tour inside the pavilion. So please.
Thank you. But
sit
I believe that you should.
and enjoy. And I will have to go. I don't want to make him wait for me. Thank you so much.
Thank
you. Please, you can sit. Thank you. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
Thank you for waiting for me here in front of the pavilion. Are we going to walk? Because I have to tell you, I'm full. I ate a lot with Chef and Elias. It was a feast, actually, very delicious.
Have you enjoyed? Yes.
I did. He brought a lot of dishes that I had to try, and it's very delicious. So let's walk. Tell me about this. There's a secret that everybody is here and enjoying and going wet into the water. What's the secret?
So our pavilion is an experience for the five senses.
Yes.
So I understand you have already tasted and smelled our pavilion.
I did.
And now is the time to feel Brazil, to hear Brazil, and to see Brazil. So the most striking feature of our pavilion is, of course,
the water.
Our water mirror. It has been inspired by the waters of the Black River in the Amazon, the Rio Negro. And the idea is that visitors get into the water, remove their shoes, of course, do not be shy, and feel Brazil. So that's the touch.
This is what I did this morning with the three architects, Martin, Marta, and José.
Paulo, yes.
This is what I did. It's really tempting to go there. There's the music as well. Before we start this interview, while I'm coming from NASA, I heard this music with a very nice rhythm. What was it?
Yeah, that's Naná Vasconcelos, is a Brazilian percussionist. He won the Grammy 8 times.
Oh,
was considered one of the greatest percussionists in the world. And this song is our tribute to visitors. The first verses say, "We're so happy to see you." So that's a Brazilian way of welcoming visitors.
And this sound now, what is it? Because I hear animals and birds. What is it?
Well, as you can see, we have speakers all around the water plaza. And as I mentioned, it's an experience for the 5 senses. So during the day, we want visitors to feel Brazil to the water, but also to hear Brazil. So we have captured sounds, especially for this project, in all of the Brazilian ecosystems. Wow. So we went to the Amazon, we went to the Pantanal, to the wetlands, to the Brazilian savanna, the Cerrado, to the fields of the sound, to capture actual sounds of Brazil, to transport our ecosystems here to Dubai. So the whole idea is to have an immersive experience. And during the evening, as you can see, we have 125 projectors.
125 projectors. Those are the ones surrounded. What does it project at night?
It's the idea is to transport visitors to Brazil. So we also have images of these ecosystems, but we also have images of our historical sites, of the Brazilian carnival, the Brazilian festivities, and everything that Brazil has to offer, the UNESCO heritage sites, the natural sites, and everything that's beautiful about Brazil and what we want to communicate.
So at night, the visitor will have their feet in the water and the kids, of course, swimming. But plus they see Brazil here in the night.
It's an immersive experience, and we want, of course, the water screen, it has this entertaining element, but it also has a few other functions. So this water is refrigerated. So the idea is it helps to bring the temperature of the pavilion down. But it also has a mirror effect with the projections. So when we have the projections, it doubles its sizes. So it's a very beautiful effect for pictures. And of course, we have the architecture effect that I'm sure the architects explained about, is to give lightness to the pavilion.
Actually, you brought Brazil, but in a very futuristic, modern, technological way. Nothing to do with the traditional way to present Brazil or any other country, actually, with videos and music. It is really modern, futuristic.
Yes, it's very
creative,
aligned
actually.
With our tradition of architecture and of bringing the best of our architecture to expos. So Brazil has a very long tradition of participating in expos, and the idea is to share a little bit of this tradition here in Dubai as well. And of course, we are changing everything every 7 to 10 days. So besides the water plaza and this entertainment element that we have in our pavilion, the idea is that we also offer visitors different experiences every week, every 7 to 10 days.
Which is the exhibition on the top, right?
Yes. Not only on the top, but also here at the water plaza. So.
But what is this actually hammock? People are taking picture. It's very colorful. People are taking picture. What is this?
Oh, the hammocks are very traditional in Brazil. Of course, it comes from our indigenous roots that we have in Brazil. And it's very common in our residence to have hammocks. But we also have that in touristic destinations in Brazil, especially close to the beach. And we try to reproduce this feeling that we have there, to have hammocks inside the water, so you can wet your feet and relax. And that's the idea behind our pavilion. We want visitors to feel welcome, and they do not have a pre-established path to follow. We just want them to come, to feel at home, and to enjoy our country, to hear the sounds of Brazil.
More and more, the more you talk, the more with the architect, with Elias, with you, I understand the secret of having a lot of visitors in the Brazilian pavilion, even though it's a very simple and simplistic structure, very minimalist. honestly, compared to others.
That's true.
This is not a bad thing. This is I find it genius, honestly.
We have a lot of experience in Expo, so we have a very successful pavilion in Milan 2015. And we also had this entertaining element there. We had a big net that visitors could walk above it, and while that they could see the different technologies related to Brazilian agriculture. So the idea is that we try to reproduce in a way the same experience that we had, which was very successful. And I think that's behind the large numbers of visitors that we are receiving so far.
Amazing. Raphael, it's very breezy. I like it. I feel the breeze, actually, and it's very cooling. It's like I am in the Amazonian forest, but in a very simple place. I don't know how you made the mixture, actually. It's very, very interesting combination.
Yes, and during the weekends, we also have performances here, cultural performances, musical performances.
Those are also in the middle of the water. You have a stage.
Yes.
Interesting. So people will be in the water and on the hammock, and the guys will be swimming and enjoying. Would you take me to the exhibition?
Of course, yes.
Let's go.
So we go now to the temporary exhibition area. It's the first floor of our pavilion. It's the Igarapé Gallery and the Igarapé Room. And it's an area that we offer our partners to have the temporary exhibition.
How often do you change the exhibitions?
Every 7 to 10 days.
Wow, that is a lot of work for you.
Yes. I don't know who had this idea back there. It's a lot of effort. We have to work around the clock, but it pays off. It pays off.
This one.
Yes,
right?
this is the Igarapé Gallery. It's a temporary exhibition area that we offer our partners. Right now we have an exhibition about the state of Minas Gerais.
Minas Gerais is on the
southeast region of Brazil.
Yeah.
It's the second most industrialized state in Brazil. It was known during the colonial times by its mines, hence the name Minas Gerais, so general mines. But right now it's a very industrialized state, full of culture, full of UNESCO heritage sites, the Baroque cities of Minas Gerais, and they're showcasing everything. And they're still known for their mineral reserves. They have the largest reserve of niobium in Brazil, in the world, very likely. So with the development of superconductors and smart batteries and everything else. So this is what we are trying to mix, technology, natural resources, and culture of Brazil.
I like this, our tradition, our strength, our future. You are all cohesive, country, diverse at the same time. What else, besides Ninas, you have as exhibition in here?
We have had our Ministry for Science and Technology during Space Week. They were showcasing here the Brazilian space program. We have one of the best located launching bases in the world, very close to the equator, just 2 degrees away from the equator. So we're starting the commercial operations of this base. Before Minas, we had the state of São Paulo, which is the most industrialized state in Brazil. They did a big party. The Water Plaza was completely taken by a big stage, and we had dancers. We have a special performance doing football tricks.
And Raphael, a lot of deals came out of that event, actually, with many other events that you hosted. This is amazing. You really leverage on this with everybody. And what else you prepare now for the future?
We are changing, as I mentioned, every 7 to 10 days. So next week we'll start with JBS. JBS is one of the largest animal protein producers in the world. They are a partner of the pavilion. So they are going to change this place completely and showcase their qualities. In a few weeks we'll have an initiative by our Ministry for Human Rights. They will showcase a program called Abraço Marajó. Literally translated, Hug Marajó. Marajó is an island in the northern part of Brazil. It has its challenges, but we are showcasing how can technology and to think about development in a sustainable way can help the development of communities that face the challenges.
It changed the community through the technology.
Yes.
Very thoughtful. Where will you take us next?
Right next to the next room, the Igarapé room.
Where should we go from here?
This way,
go.
yes.
Yes.
Watch your step.
We'll go back there. are taking us to...
The Igarapé room is also a temporary exhibition area. And this whole structure is also stems from our experience in Milan.
Yeah.
This is a basic structure that we are providing our partners, so they simply have to change the content to showcase the quality. So we have this wave, LED wave, and also these three 270 degrees screens.
260 degrees.
270 degrees.
Okay.
It's not completely closed.
Okay, I understand now. Oh, yeah.
It's also showcasing the state of Minas Gerais.
This is Minas Gerais.
Yes.
Okay.
And this floor here is much more focused on business and on presenting the qualities and the economy of the states, but also the culture and the nature. As you know, our pavilion has one central team that is together for sustainable development, and three sub-teams, together for nature, together for people, and together for tomorrow. So we're always telling our partners to combine these three teams, which are the three pillars of sustainable development. So that's what's behind our central message.
Thank you, Raphael, for this journey, this trip together. I want to finish with you this episode. What do you think? You know, you have a lot of big tradition, long tradition in participating in Expo. What do you think the heritage that will be left from Dubai Expo and from this pavilion to the world?
I think the main message behind the Expo itself is connecting minds, creating the future. And when we are here, we can completely feel the spirit, the collaboration between all the pavilions, and this idea of we have a shared future, and everyone has a part to play, and everyone is part of the solution. So Brazil is also part of the solution, and we have a lot to showcase.
Thank you رافائيل. وشكرا لكم متابعينا على مشاهدة هذه الحلقة. أتتكم الليلة من الجناح البرازيلي. الأسبوع القادم بإذن الله نكتشف جناح آخر وضيوف كرام آخرين. رافائيل, I'm really tempted to go back into the water down before I go back to work because I still have work to do. Should we go down?
Please do, yes.
Thank
That's the
you.
spirit.
Thank you.